Hi there, and today I want to talk to you about my new Wahoo Elemnt bolt. So as you can see from the footage of me unboxing, it was a pretty easy initial setup unbox. I had to add my sensors twice, which was a bit confusing. I added them once via the mobile app, and then when I took my first ride I had to re-add them while I was riding to the actual head unit. So this is meant to be a concise review. So here's the executive summary. If you have goals with cycling, whether it be to go faster, endurance, so for a ride longer, climb hills better, data is your friend. And a cycling computer will give you that data. So since I've had this, I've had numerous personal records or PBs on Strava, and it's cut off 10 seconds off of a 8-minute ride for me because I have some data right in front of me. I bought the bundle, which came with the head unit, the cadence sensor, the speed sensor, and the chest strap heart rate monitor. Some things that I've noticed: the chest strap heart rate monitor is much more precise than the optical Apple Watch heart rate monitor. No surprise there. Thanks to Shane Miller, I'll link his video in the description below, I learned how to use routes, and basically Strava routes are useless with the Wahoo, and you should just recreate all of your Strava routes on Ride with GPS and then sync your Ride with GPS with your Wahoo account. Why? Because the Strava routes don't export turn-by-turn directions. So if you want to be given directions like street names and turn right and so on, you have to go through another service. Ride with GPS is the best of what I tried. I did try Komoot, and I was not impressed. So I've had a Ride with GPS account for years, just never really utilized it. I've revitalized it now, and I had to recreate my routes. Thankfully I only had 6 or so in Strava, so I recreated them with Ride with GPS, and now my routes work on the Wahoo with turn-by-turn direction. One last thing about data. So I've been thinking about it, and I really do want to get a power meter, and I intend to in the future. Power meter is really the only true measure of input. Cadence is kind of a measure of method, how you are inputting, but the other, your heart rate, your speed, your average speed, the feet that you've climbed, so on, that's all outputs. The only true way to measure your input is via a power meter. One reason I haven't gotten one yet is I'm not confident in which one will fit my Felt F55X. It has a SRAM rival 1x system, CX 1x system, and I'm just not confident yet which power meter will fit that. So if you know which power meters will fit without much hassle, put a comment down below and it'll be much appreciated. So here I have the main page. Up top I have my cadence, then I have my heart rate, my speed, the grade percentage. I like this. It lets me know if I'm struggling for a reason, like I'm actually going up a hill, or if I'm struggling just because I'm tired or not feeling it or something. But I like knowing whether I'm going up a hill or not. The ride time, the miles, and the clock. I do commute every day to and from work. I like having that clock there. And then if I want to focus more on just the essentials of a workout, you just hit the up button here and it shows you the top 4: cadence, heart rate, speed, and grade percentage. Next is the turn by turn, and again I have cadence, I have distance to the next cue, so that's usually the next turn. I have my heart rate and I have my clock. And you can zoom in and out of the map, but clicking on the up and down does not hide or show the data elements here. That's all done via the app, so you can add or remove those. And here's the Strava segments from my last ride. I turned off the Strava live segments page because you can't customize the fields that are in there. Instead, I just have the Strava updates come up at the bottom when you're starting a segment. It'll update you occasionally during a segment. Yeah, I was disappointed in the Strava live segments page. I do use the dots up here, the LEDs. I use it mostly for heart rate zones, but I like sort of knowing where my heart rate range is as I'm going. When I get a power meter, basically all these data points will kind of bump down and power will go up at the top, and then it'll be power, cadence, heart rate. Those will be the main things, and then grade and speed and so on. So this is not intended to be an in-depth review of the Wahoo Elemnt bolt. There are many others out there. There have been many others out there for a year or two now that it's been out. Shane Miller is a good resource, I found. He also did a comparison of the Wahoo to the Apple Watch and the cell phone, and compared the GPS tracking that you get from that. Basically, this gives you a lot more precision in all of your data measurements. Heart rate is a significant, it's easy to see on the chart that it's so much more precise. Also your speed, your distance and everything is just a lot more precise with a cycling head unit. That's true of, I'm sure, any cycling head unit worth its value. But I do highly recommend the Wahoo Bolt. I really enjoy how it automatically uploads my activities to Strava. I really enjoy how it automatically syncs my routes from Ride with GPS. I don't have to go to Garmin MyConnect, which is a terrible, I hate that service. So that's the main reason I didn't go with the Garmin. I like that I can just sync my Wahoo account with my Strava account and my Ride with GPS account, and it all just kind of happens relatively seamlessly. So if you're interested in collecting and seeing more data as you ride, I highly recommend a cycling head unit. If you don't have one already, I highly recommend the Wahoo Elemnt Bolt. It's priced competitively, and it is pretty easy to use. Yeah, and I guess that's about it. My next video will likely be a overview of all of the things I've done to my Felt F55X. It is a cyclocross. It's marketed as a cyclocross bicycle. I think it's a little bit in between a cyclocross and a gravel bike, and that's how I've kind of set it up. Because I commute on it, I do a fair amount of road riding on it. I don't do as much trail riding as I was anticipating, though there is one route home that I take often that does have a bit of a trail on it, so I do like having a bit of fatter tires and so on. Let me know if you have any questions about the Wahoo Elemnt Bolt or about my bike at all. Thanks for watching.